Welcome to the 2020 Fort Lauderdale Real Estate Report. My name is David Siddons, and I'm president of the David Siddons Group. I'm also one of the senior executives of luxury sales here at Douglas Elliman. And I'm very proud to announce the launch of this report where we look back at what's happened in the Fort Lauderdale luxury market with a focus on Waterfront. So without further ado, let's get into this. So we've been pumping out reports on the Miami luxury real estate market for over a decade, and I've been selling the Miami and Fort Lauderdale markets the same amount of time. But it's not until now that we've brought out and decided to focus on a full-blown report using the same style, optics, social narrative, and software to analyze and break down the Fort Lauderdale market. So if you're out there looking at real estate, you probably won't find anything like this. And this will be the first time that you'll see this kind of report come into the picture. Now, with the report, we're going to cover 6 different sections. And this is absolutely key because each section comes with its own narrative, its explanation of what's going on and why it's going on, because the why is more important often than the what. Now, if you're a seller, this is going to be great information for you. And understand that if you're trying to sell, we're definitely a group that you'll want to call. Why? Because over the last decade, we've amassed around 50,000 followers a month. And right now, because of relocations, a lot of optics are on the data that we produce. We are the only group to have software that allows us to do the analysis that we do, which means you won't be able to find it with any other agent in any other brokerage house. So let's go into the 6 areas that we're going to cover in this report. So regardless if you're a buyer or a seller, this is need to know information. Part 1, we're going to cover the best waterfront neighborhoods within Fort Lauderdale. What are currently performing as the best 3 areas to buy a waterfront home? Part 2, we're going to look at the top performing condos in Fort Lauderdale. And it's not until recent years that we've seen a number of new luxury condos come into this market. Part 3, we're going to look at each and every prime neighborhood in Fort Lauderdale and how each of those has performed in the last 6 months. Part 4, we're going to compare Fort Lauderdale to Miami. Now, this has never been done before, but as agents who sell both cities, we're going to allow an observation and a study of each market, and we're going to compare both with stats and analysis. In Part 5, much like the Miami report, we're going to look at the driving economic factors of the Fort Lauderdale market. We're going to look at socioeconomic, demographic, and economic forces. We're going to look at the forces of new development, the effects of climate change, the effects of COVID, and all the other economic and socioeconomic factors in play right now in 2020. And finally, in Part 6, we're going to cover investing in Fort Lauderdale. And we're going to look forward and predict what we might see through the rest of 2020. We're also going to go into more detail into our predictive analysis software that'll help you understand what is the best investment for you. So there you have it, everything you need to know about Fort Lauderdale. And remember, we've been doing this for over a decade. We've been writing these reports and studying these markets closely. We have an on-the-ground agent in the Fort Lauderdale market, Elaine, who's an expert and a veteran of 15 years in the business. So, we look forward to helping you. Shoot me an email, give me a call, and read all the parts of this report and coming reports and blogs and videos as the weeks progress through 2020. Thank you again.